my sound, make sure that works. Hello? That's definitely not where I want to be. Ignore that. Okay, so moving forward, this is my first stream on a little bit early, so gonna record this and then hopefully put it up on my YouTube channel as well, which is also murder_hobos_inc. You can also find me on Twitter at murder_hobos_inc. Tonight we're going to be working on some stuff I've already started. So my Tomb of Annihilation stuff I have on Roll20. Gonna be loading up Roll20 here. To go over to, I should probably change my name there, huh? If you didn't know, you can have multiple instances of Roll20 open. Hopefully this isn't lagging me too much while I'm streaming. So that's my private account that I'm going to be transitioning into my display name, there we go. Probably have to edit that out of my YouTube video. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to load up Roll20. We're going to go through and add Tomb of Annihilation stuff. So if you do not want to see spoilers for Tomb of Annihilation, you might want to look away. So right now, here's my drive on Google. So you can see I got like my D&D stuff, which is like characters and various stuff, and then I have hero stuff, stuff for my kids, professional work stuff, and then stuff that's just White Wolf, like Mage, Werewolf, World of Darkness. All of my materials and stuff that I have for that are in there. And then Tomb of Annihilation, I probably should put that in another subcategory of D&D, but for now, I've just got it out here by itself. I've already gone through and I've cut and pasted a lot of the stuff, the walkthrough stuff for Tomb of Annihilation for like once this party gets to Omu, and then within Omu there's the stuff for the Fane of the Night Serpent, which has its own stuff. So as you can see at the bottom, got Omu, which is general city stuff, Legend of the Nine Gods, the puzzle cube stuff, locations, Kubazans, Shigambi stuff, and then you can scroll over. I got one for each of the shrines. And so as I go to each of the shrines, I can print, as we do go through, I can print just the text off, And then I can like just highlight it and just select print the highlighted material, the selected material. And then I also have in here the images that I took from Tomb of Annihilation, and I nested these over here so that I can easily find them. I think I may have also, this is Shigambi, so let's go look at Shigambi's shrine. So yeah, so he's Shigambi's shrine info is here, and you can get the picture of the shrine here. And then once you get to like locations in Omu, I also have the map of Omu right there. And as you scroll down, so the Adventurers Camp, one of the things that's left in the Adventurers Camp is this letter. So I nested that right here, so it'd be easy to find. This is the letter. You can basically hand that out, so I could print that out and give it to my players at the table, and it's probably a pain to read, so you can either cut and paste this to like the other side or below it, which is what they do in with the item in Roll20 itself for the adventure. And it goes through a bunch of the stuff. But notice none of the shrine locate pictures are in here. I didn't nest those. I nested those separately and just with the individual shrines. So once they get to the shrine, I go specifically to the shrine. And then it just gives you a whole bunch of paperwork. I'm not sure if it's actually cheaper just to have purchase the Roll20 or purchase Tomb of Annihilation for Roll20 and purchase it separately as a hard copy, or just print everything out. That's why I have it electronically, is I can go through and I can see myself which one is better. So I can actually run just using like a computer or laptop or something to give me all these things, and then I can just have specific handouts for the players instead of having to have all this pre-printed, which would cost a lot just in the ink, I would think. So I've already got all that stuff done. I've already got the same thing for Fane and the Night Serpents. The reason I started there is I wanted to start where my players were at, and we were running the game. I had previously run Tomb of Annihilation. We started basically over in Baldur's Gate, and the party came over, and they were essentially just running through, and we were trying. I was using a lot of the mechanics that Roll20 has specifically for Tomb of Annihilation, which I really liked, which was ammo tracking and the amazing, like, all of just the nitpicky stuff that you usually just don't even bother with. And because Roll20 allows you to track all that stuff separately, that's what we were doing. And it did kind of get cumbersome, and the players didn't really like it that much. But we were only going to do it for the time that they were in the jungle to try to make it seem worse than it was, like a grindy type of adventure that they really hadn't been in. None of my players played original D&D or 2nd edition, so they've only been playing 3.0 and later, and then we didn't play 4.0 at all. So for this adventure, when we started it with all the stuff that Roll20 had, I wanted to go in and just basically be able to utilize all that stuff, and they didn't like it. So we eventually, things happened, and we didn't get to Omu. I had one of the NPCs later basically offer to tell them where Omu was, because that's part of the adventures, you gotta find Omu. And she was gonna basically tell them where it was, and they could take the shortcut and just jump straight to Omu. But she wanted to do like a blood pact with them in order to make it so that they had to bring the soulmonger to her when they exited Omu, and none of them wanted to do that, which is probably a smart move. But she did let them slip on how they could jump towards other stuff, which was kind of cool. So I guess we should jump. If you haven't actually seen this adventure stuff yet, it's pretty sweet. I definitely recommend the adventure, even though we didn't finish it on Roll20. Like I said, I'm doing this because all the guys I was playing with on Roll20, we decided to try out the Roll20 because we were having scheduling issues and one of the guys couldn't make it, and because he was on call. But he could play if he didn't actually work, so we basically started playing this to make it easy for him to get in on some, so we wouldn't miss out, and so he wouldn't miss out. And didn't really work. I think we're okay with it, but I think we like playing in person more. I mean, it's just, for us, it's better. I do plan on running this again as a on Roll20. Just, I'll probably be streaming it eventually once I get used to this whole stream thing, get players that want to do it, and we'll go from there. Still don't have anybody visiting my chat, it doesn't look like. That's okay. Trying to monitor my chat on a different device so that I don't have to jump back and forth. I wonder if how I can change that picture. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I'll have to look that up later, how to change that picture. But it looks like there's no one in my chat room. That's okay, we'll get to that eventually. So what I wanted to do tonight is we're going to go back and we're going to catalog all the stuff that I haven't got to yet. What I haven't done in the Omu and the Fane of the Night Serpent yet as well, and we'll eventually get caught up to that, is I need to get all the NPCs moved over, and my plan for that is to put them on their own little spreadsheet and then go from there. I'll probably just make each character like have different things for them and make it basically a chart that I can look up, and then I'll nest links or something to their pictures so that I can just bring that up for my characters on a tablet or something. If you haven't noticed, this one's called Trial and Error. It's got several of the things going for Roll20. I've got the one that I'm actually running, and then I got this one, Trial and Error, which is just so I can check stuff out. Like these are, some of these are NPCs that I made using Roll20 for various games that I'm either playing in or want to get into, or just see how stuff works out. I just got the Player's Handbook, so right now my only add-ons are Tomb of Annihilation and the Player's Handbook. Everything else I have right now is the free stuff, which SRD has all you need to get started, so if you don't have that, don't worry. It's all good. You can jump in, and as long as your DM is paying for the Roll20, you don't really have to worry too much about it. You'll be able to have access to his stuff as long as he inputs in stuff in for you. I don't think if you do Charactermancy without it, I think you'd be limited. So he could do the character mancer for you, and we can go through that on another day, making characters and stuff in Roll20. Right now we're going to focus on what we got, so we don't need to look at that. Thank you for the purchase. NPC initiative, Roll20, there are notes about credits for Dramaticus persona, introduction, who is Asarak, starting the adventure. Let's look at that real quick. Yeah, so Cinder Sylvain's Curse. This is the hook that I used to get them in Baldur's Gate. She's a wizard merchant. And basically, I teleported the party to Jolt, which is the easy, cheesy play. The summer, for sure, I'm going to be doing tabletop Tomb of Annihilation after I get, because my kids and stuff, I got the starter set, so I'm planning on having my kid, we're going to switch our game. Instead of running Saturday nights, we're going to probably do just Saturdays, and then me and my buddies are going to get our kids involved, so it'll be our normal party, which has 3 PCs, plus the kids of the appropriate age, which is my oldest, who's going to be 7, and then his 2 kids, which I believe are 8 and 10, and so it'll be 3 kids and then 3 adults playing as the player characters, and then I'll be GMing. Get the kids involved. His kids have done a little bit of role-playing. He made a system out of Final Fantasy, or no, was it Final Fantasy? Yeah, Final Fantasy. I think Final Fantasy 2, I want to say. But he basically made a system that emulated that, and they liked it, so his kids are into it. My kids have been bugging me to go over there and play, so I'm going to try and get my oldest one in there. My youngest is just turning 4 next month, so he's not going to be able to play. He might go over there and just hang out, but he's not going to get to play. But they're going to play the starter set, and then I'm going to throw in these adventure hooks. The curse, basically, so if anybody dies in the starter, they're not going to be able to come back to life because of this curse. And then after the starter, we're going to jump into, hopefully one of them picks up the Harpers. If not, all the factions are essentially represented in the starter set. So we're going to, their faction, if they decide to take up factions, are going to kind of toss them, try to push them towards going to Jolt. And I still don't even know if my sound's working right. Push them towards going to... Ah, yes, good. Excellent. So I probably need this info for starting the adventure. So we're just going to take it, and we're going to cut and paste. Ooh, I don't want to cut and paste that chart. That'll be nasty. But I should be able to cut and paste everything else. Player's map of Jolt, and then character hooks. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. We're going to go to my untitled spreadsheet, and we're going to title this Starting. Drag that. Uh-oh. Did mess stuff up. There we go. So, this is starting the adventure, so we're going to put starting Tomb of Annihilation. And I'm just going to input it in that first one right there. And see, what happens is you end up, basically it goes all the way across and everything takes one line and it goes on for infinity until it needs the spots, which is not what we want. So what we are going to do is we're going to extend column A over to like right here, and then it did the same for B, which is perfect because now I'm going to, oops, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to highlight select A and B, and then we are going to go to merge them. So merge cells, we're going to merge horizontally. So now I got those set up. If you look at how I did it before, I just had A all the way across, and then this one I just merged A to J, and that actually might be the way to go. Because the reason I want to do that is when I get down here, I need for this table, if I want to put that table in, I'm going to need the title for the background, I'll need the reference, and then I'll need the space for the character hook. And I don't think I have any, like, starting the adventure, I don't have anything that I need to nest in there, no pictures or images or anything. So yeah, I just need A, B, C. So let's make C a little bit bigger. And we'll put C out to here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and merge across on those ones. So yeah, hopefully you don't get upset that we're basically working with Excel, so you get some little taste of Excel fun. Alright, so now we're going to shrink A back down, because that's going to be the name of the thing. B is going to be the source book, it looks like, the reference. So I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. And then C is going to be the rest of it. We're going to take that out to there. Starting the adventure. Now, what I could have done is pasted special or why it was all in here. So we're basically going to. This is not going to highlight everything. Alright, so let's go through all this stuff. And then are they using Arial? Sure, we'll use Arial. I want to shrink it down to size 10 as my base. I don't need it. And then it looks. Undo all the underlines. It's not italics. It's all in Arial. So what I use is my other default. No, it's in like Helvetica. That was the standard for. It's weird that it switched. Alright, so we'll switch to that. Just so it stays across. Oh, it's not even a choice on here. That's weird. More fonts. It's not even a font choice. It's weird. Alright, so what I Alright, so there we go. I'm up to C going over to here. See, it doesn't even tell me the font right now. So that's weird. It's the same computer, so I don't know why it's different, but alright, so we'll change this back to 10. Getting rid of the bold, getting rid of all those underlines. Then I will go back through and I'm going to address the things that I want bigger and bolder, and so we're going to make this 18. Make a bold, underline that, and then I'm going to center it with, I probably won't do any good, but since it's all one, it should be okay. So for my centering, horizontal line right there, centered. Alright, so that has that to get things started. So this is where they start at. So we're going to take this, we're going to make this bigger, make this my standout. Cinder Sylvain's Curse. I don't. Oh, that's also what I need to do. So, text wrapping. There we go. So that forced the text to wrap around, and it auto expands the spaces for us, which is nice. So Cinder Sylvain's Curse. So this when you're red, we're gonna get rid of this empty. I don't need that space there. Delete row. I'm gonna leave this space. To just give me white space, which is fine. And then this one we're gonna so I'm also gonna bold it. And then here's her regular info. What I did on my other stuff, if you look on anything that's like quotes and stuff like that, I made it larger and I italicized it. So I'm gonna stick with the same stuff. So these are all things that she says right here, or the direct quote or whatever. Box text. So I'm making the box text font or size 12, and then I'm making italics. Treasure, excellent. Oops, that's definitely not what I want to do. Bold, make it underlined, make it bigger. So what I did for treasure, no, I didn't make it bigger. I did, it's 11 instead of 10. But it is bold and underlined, so I'm just trying to keep with the same. It's been over a month, I think, maybe 2 months before I did that last stuff. I decided instead of continuing on, I was going to wait till I started streaming, which is, I finally got to, and figured it's something I could do to kind of put some content out there to get my page started. Hopefully this is recording on Twitch for me, so it'll be available for you guys to watch later if you're not watching it live, which I don't think anybody is. Alright, so player's map of Chult. See here I could nest that, and see it's wanting to give me a link and stuff, but we're not going to bother. Alright, so that is that. Character hooks. And then the next part was the backgrounds. So I think, let's see what happens if I just cut and paste into that spot right. Alright, so it did what I thought it would do. See how it lined up everything for me? But the text went off because I don't think it is set up for text wrapping. So we're going to have it wrap, and it did a perfect job. Now I'm going to take these, we're going to aligned, and I'm going to center them horizontally within their respective things, and then I'm going to make the font size 12 just so we can see them. We're going to make that character hooks 12. We're going to underline that. Teleporting bold, but we're only going to make it size 11. And I'm going to italicize it. Player's Chult. Control italicize it, and we're going to make that 11. Alright, so now I've got my everything set up. And I was looking at it before, if you notice, like, why do I have these over here? When I was doing my other stuff, I happened to notice a column J, so I probably should have left 3 over there. So it might be going a little far. Or not far enough, yeah. Going a little too far. So if I bring it back in about 1 more space, I think that's about right where the regular page break stuff for printing is at. That was basically through trial and error. So this one I'll fit on, and the reason that I have it more white space to the right is so that I can see the maps better. You can still select the column and do select your print, and it'll still line everything up for you, which is fine. That's what I did with these anyway. So with this one, we'll leave it like that. It gives me a little bit of stuff to work with, and these links aren't going to work because they're linked into Roll20. So we're going to click on the box, and we're going to type Tomb of Annihilation. Tomb of Annihilation. And there we go. So probably should put skag, but we'll just leave that because then I don't have to mess with it. So that one is all done. My change is already saved to the drive. Let's go back and look at my drive, and when it's already nested in my Tomb of Annihilation because that's where I started the thing at. So I'll go ahead and start another sheet. I don't need these ones now since we've already looked at them. They're just as examples of what I've done so far. Alright, so starting the adventure, we're done with that. I just have another sheet just for that now. The welcome to Chult. Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna go back and so starting. Oh. So we're gonna rename this tab. Starting the adventure. Sure, that's what it was called. We're going to add another tab. Sheet 2, nope, we're going to name that. Welcome to Chult. And at this point, we could go through and do the same thing, but I want to double check what exactly this has got going on. See, it already has a picture handout that zooms out, and you get to see some really cool stuff. The backgrounds, the jungleness, and when you're in Roll20, it just pops out like this. So it's pretty nice. Forces all the players to see it, basically. Do we need any? Sure. This is all kind of good stuff as you're starting. I'll probably include this picture. So we're going to save the image as let's see, I also have all my pictures saved in separate folders that correspond to the various things on there. So we're going to add a new folder, and we're going to call this one starting. And now under here, this is, what do we want to name that picture? We'll name it Welcome to the the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. Yeah. Yeah, they are. I think if you're unfamiliar with Adventures League and the Tomb of Annihilation from Adventures League, you get surrogate characters because it's assumed that your character's gonna die. So you're allowed to bring in like surrogate characters at the same level. So that's pretty cool. With the exception of a few coastal settlements. So this had the picture. We just saved that. And then we're going to, I guess we should go ahead and copy all of that. We're going back over to starting. And I think we're going to do, we're just going to go to, that's good. So now I am going to do it slightly differently because I'm nesting that picture over here. So we're going to, that's not what I wanted to format. We want to merge these babies. Merge horizontally. And I guess go ahead and select text wrapping now. We'll bring everything over. Oh, that did not work, did it? That. I don't know why it did that. It should have worked. Oh well. I'll just select it all this way. Do it again. Format. Oh, because I just pasted it. I could have brought it in and had it format or stick to the new format. Alright, and then we're going to wrap that text. We're going to change our font size to 10. So tap that twice. If you saw it, underline everything, and now it undid it. So that's perfect. Welcome to Chult. Underline that, and then we're going to make it size 18, and then we're going to center it horizontally. Yay! Everybody rejoiced. So that's done. Little box, little text, little text. So here's this is different now. So this is a new thing. So I want to insert one row above it because I want to size it, and then we're going to make it size 12 because that's what I want to do. Alright, so it talks about the humidity, how hot it is through there, and then it talks about visibility because it's raining so much, and then on days where basically tropical storm, so every day you play there's basically a 25% chance there's just a tropical storm. So, and during that time I don't think we ever did this part, which is travel by river is impossible. Yeah, I don't think I put that in my, when I did it I made a chart, and I don't think I put that as part of my chart for the tropical dispersion. Oh well, now I know. Alright, so races, so we're going to add in white space. This was 12, so we're going to stick with that. Make it 12, just so it sticks out. So here they talk about the races, and then it's weird. Now they talk about the Ring of Winter and the frost giants that are there. And then it talks about the over on the jungle. I'm not sure how all that has to do with races of Chult, but whatever. So the Chultans have their own thing going on, which is important to know, I guess. And then Chultan names isn't as important, so I'm just going to leave it, but I wanted to stick out, so we made it bold and I made it italicized. Dynastic names. italicized. Italicized. And then font 11. What did I make there? Croaker, yeah, 11. Goblins 11. War masks. Oh, I remember these guys. Yeah, the battle stacks. Yeah, those guys are hilarious. Frost Giants. This is the same thing, bold and italicized, and Control I, and then changing the font. I don't know what the hotkey for that is, but whatever. Terrafold I, Tabaxi I didn't know they had I guess Tabaxi for Forgotten Realms are from Chult? Oh, no, they're from Mastica. After escaping from slavers. And then Undead, yeah. I want to play a zombie. Were tigers. And then Yuan Ti. I think it'd be hard to have like Yuan Ti in the party because of what's going on in Omo. Not impossible. This seems to make Omu not as terrible. Because, I mean, you'd have to pretty much make them part of it, wouldn't you? I guess unless they're rebelling against their god, in which case it'd be even worse for them. Alright, so that's everything for there. I just gotta get my picture over here, so we're gonna go over here. And now we're going to insert image. And we're going to upload. And oops. There we go. Starting. Alright, so we got alright, so that's in. And you probably saw when I did my pictures that I had those other in my other folders that are the same name as the pages I have made for in the spreadsheets. It's set up so I can just go right to those folders and I can pull the pictures out if I need to. But I put them here so I don't have to go trying to find everything. But all the pictures are still in those folders. It just makes it easy for me to find stuff if I need to. Alright, so this one, I believe we're done with that page. So we're done with Welcome to the Chult. Chapter 1, Welcome to Chult for the players. Same picture, I don't need that again. And then we're off to Port Nyanzaru. Alright, so we're done with the starting Tomb of Annihilation page. Now we're on to Port Nyanzaru. So we're going to name it Port Nyanzaru. And that did not come out the way I wanted it to. Port. I'm pretty sure that's the right way to spell it. Nyanzaru. that is it. So this is chapter 1. Ooh, that's a good part. I should need not chapter T, chapter 1, Port Nyanzaru. And then we have intro to chapter 1. Sneeze. Didn't want to subject you to that. So yeah, I will be doing these streams after my work at 11 o'clock. So I should be able to be home and beyond by then. And coming back from being a barista at a local nationwide chain. So I guess they will be inadvertently sponsoring me as I bring my beverages home to consume. Alright. I don't think I'm going to need this one. What's it say? Partners are hugs the coastline south. Yeah, blah, blah. No other city exists in Chult besides Omu, which is a lost city, so that by definition makes it a city. A ruin, but it's a ruined city. I don't think I need that. Rival. Just that is a huge thing of box text. So, Cinder's Fang tells yourself and the characters porting in our harbor, not far from the harbor master's office. When I ran this and I had them arrive, I put a teleportation circle near the harbor master's office, like right next to it, basically, and it had like its own little gazebo with guards sitting there to make sure, you know, they had like redundant trumpets to sound if anybody, if like an invading army just like tried to teleport themselves through. Basically a guarded teleportation circle, so that it, you know, once people learn the circle, anybody can teleport there. This I'm going to want. Emphasize the heat, the humidity, the exotic sounds and smells, and other unique aspects. Tabaxi minstrels. So it's kind of funny that, alright, Tabaxi aren't from Chult, but those are the minstrels that you're going to notice right off the top of the bat, is the Tabaxi minstrels walking around. That's cool. All the city's water comes from rain, so every building has cisterns or wooden barrels to catch water running from the roof. I think that's actually illegal in many places now. You're not allowed to capture your own runoff. Which seems weird, but yeah, I think that's illegal in many cities now. So we're going to cut and paste all of this, and this is going to be called, which is important, because that's going to be our first sheet. So first sheet, arrival. Alright, now we're bring it all over, and I'm going to go to J. There, I don't think there's any picture, so we're just going to go straight over to J. We're going to format this baby, merge cells horizontally, and then we are doing the text wrap. And let's see how everything is underlined. I don't know why. Off, and then I want everything to start at font 10, size 10. And then I'll go through, adjust everything that I want, bold, underline, and then we're going to make this the title, so we're going to make this 18, and we're going to center it. Alright, cinder cell vein, blah blah blah, we're going to make that a 10, and we're going to make it size 11. Doesn't need to be ginormously. Oh, it didn't go to size 11. But just a little, let you know that's kind of important. So we're reading. I think I pointed this out before for my box text, that I want my box text to stand out. So these two things are the straight box text. So if you go back and look at the box text, you appear, and then beyond that, so all that's straight box text. So I'm going to go through that. Italicized, not bold, but italicized, and then I made it larger, so it's size 12. So see, it stands out. This doesn't need now, it'll stand out more because of all this italic just by being different. Alright, so Cinder recommends blah blah blah. This is important, so we're gonna not. It's a note, and then all of that stuff. Set the ground floors of most buildings. Okay, so that's up. So we're gonna make this, because this is, I'm basically considering this box type. We get a 12. We're gonna italicize it. It's weird. Is that blue? That looks like blue to me. This Tabaxi Minstrel, is that blue to you guys? And then above, I'm gonna insert one above there just to separate it out. There, and that is all of that one, I believe. Yeah, nothing for arrival. Side quests. So the side quests are kind of interesting. Like these, when you go to run it, man, I should totally bring up. I don't know if I can run another roll 20. So let's go to. My computer's not the greatest. I totally need to upgrade it, but. So we're gonna go to look at the one that I've already done now. So I want to show you guys what I did. But these are the way I run the Forgotten Realms is adventure board. Like for adventurers, whenever you go anywhere, there's like a board you can go to read to, like in the bars, and then like in the local public areas, and at taverns and inns, all have like boards for adventurers to go find stuff to do. And this is the way I run the realms. I don't know if that's canon, or it seems to be like the way we used to do it back when I first grew up playing D&D. So it's the way I've just always run it. It's kind of like one of the weird things of the realms. Is there's so many adventures running around. Why wouldn't you have basically, you know? It's I find it funny, but not everybody uses them. Waiting on it to load. Hopefully my voice is loud enough. Got the headset on. It's pretty quiet in the house right now. It's 11:39 at night for me. Kids are asleep. Wife's asleep. Well, they might not be with me talking, but I'll try not to be too loud. Hopefully I'm not too quiet. Still no one's jumped in my chat, so don't have anybody tell me to speak up, blah blah blah. I know I can actually be heard and I'm not muted, because I checked on that, and you probably heard the feedback at the beginning. Alright, oh, see, so it's got all my random things set up at the bottom from where we're playing. Daily encounters, I made a button for that basically, and then cache, random encounters if you actually find a cache, which comes from the encounters, and then you got various other and stuff, random weather, so it generates the weather for the day. And I actually had it yeah, it doesn't want to run another one. That's fine. So basically I went through and I made player handouts for these that I put on the various things, and then I basically told them where to go find the people. But they're basically little hooks that they could go look at the thing and like grab, you know, a quest page and go find the person that had the quest and off the adventurer's board. And that allows them to see, like, I don't have to worry about like trying to throw stuff in, which I still did. I didn't use all of them. Some of them are like actually were people walking up to the adventures and stuff like that while they're doing other stuff, and they could choose not to do it or do what they wanted. What I found from the various Tomb of Annihilation that I've watched other people play and from running it is, and from playing in it, is that once you leave Port Nyanzaru, it's really hard to get back. Like, it takes my characters when we ran it, um, even with nobody had, like, we didn't have a rogue or a ranger, so nobody was like expertised in survival. So they would get advantage on their survival checks, but they're still they failed a lot, and so they basically got turned around a lot, which meant that they actually went backwards just as much as they went forwards, and it was really frustrating for them because they also, not only were they failing their survival checks, my random encounter table rolls were all coming up negative, so they almost really didn't fight like anybody. Actually, the first encounter they ran across was actually a group of Flaming Fists people, and they had the proper paperworks, and they had a guide who was friendly to those guys, so everything worked out fine for them in the long run. And it was basically, hey, what's going on? And the guy's like, hey, we got our paperwork, here it is. And he's like, yeah. And they just chit-chatted, and then they departed and went their separate ways. If they'd been hostile to those guys, or if they hadn't had their paperwork, then it probably would have been a fight, and that's probably one they would have lost. They could have forked over the money, but none of them really wanted to do that. So, side quests. Cutting and pasting. Side quests into my Port Nyanzaru. So adding tab. We're going to name this side quests. And yeah, I am kind of doing a little hunting and pecking because my arms are all weird. Once I get a better chair and stuff, desk, and it'll probably be a little bit better. Right now I'm reclined back away from an entertainment center for the most part, but it's all good. Gets me started, gets me doing this thing. Side quests, man, almost came out perfect. Alright, so we're gonna take that and we're gonna format it. Merging horizontally, and then we're wrapping, and then we're bold, and getting rid of everything being whatever size it wants. So make everything 10. We're going back through here and make this back to 18. And we're going to center it horizontally. And then what I think I want to do, so I want to copy. Maybe that's not the way to do it. We're just going to do insert one above. Insert one above. And I'm right clicking on there to insert the one above. So that's what gives me the, I'm not sure why that's blue. It's probably got links in it. Yeah, it goes to a journal. Kind of surprised all of them don't, but we're just going to leave it. The links don't work if you're wondering. If you want to see what happens, we can do that. So, let's see if it actually took my, and see it didn't jump to it in here. What was that the link on? Help the Lord's Alliance. Or was that it? Help the Lord's Alliance. So yeah, see, this had a link in the other one, but in this one it doesn't. See that? See, the whole thing's in a link. That's weird. These have links, and like Zendar has a link. I mean, we could look at Zendar. But I don't think that really helps us any. But yeah, here's the parts that I was looking. I'm gonna have to like find some way to like export this. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm gonna do that. Whether I'm just gonna make a chart with the stats and then like special stuff you can do like underneath. That might be the way to go. And then just do alphabetical. If you see this, wink wink, hopefully, yeah, tweet me at murder_hobos_inc what you think would be the best way to like export this info without having to like handwrite it all, because you can't highlight any of this crap. So I don't know. Like, I could take pictures of it, like screenshot this and then have pictures, but then all it is picture based stuff, so that doesn't necessarily make really good stuff to export. So if you got an idea on how to export that stuff, just drop me that suggestion on Twitter. That'd be great. So side quests are done. Rivals done. Locations in the city not done. Oh, and here's finally we get our map of Port Nyanzaru. So we're gonna save the image. This is gonna go in starting. So we're in Tomb of Annihilation. We're in starting. Why isn't there a picture in here? There should have been a picture. Maybe it must not have been JPEG. Alright, so we got Port Nyanzaru. We're gonna save that. And then let's go back to the Port Nyanzaru side quests. Arrival, actually. Wasn't there a picture supposed to be in here? From Arrival? Yeah, it's like welcome to the jungle, right? Oh no, that was for starting. Yeah, so I probably should have put that in a different thing. So I'm actually going to put the picture in here in Arrival, and then I'm going to also put it in the other one, and then I'm also going to put it so we're going to put the image in here. Port Nyanzaru. And I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. And let's go ahead and while I'm thinking about it. Starting Tomb of Annihilation. Starting the adventure. I don't see. Wasn't there 2 tabs on this? Yeah, there we go. Welcome to Chult. So we're going to go over to Welcome to Chult. I'm still thinking. There should be a picture over here. There it goes. It's coming. Alright. We're going to insert an image over here. It's definitely slowing my computer down doing this with all these images and shit. Nope. I know, I said I was going to keep it clean. Hey, former sailor, give me a little slack here. So that one's done. All my changes are saved in my drive. was that one. Going back to Port Nyanzaru, I got that on arrival. And then we're going to add one. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have the access to that picture like everywhere, right? So that's why I did that. So sheet 3 is going over here. And what was sheet 3 called? Locations in the city. So this is where it really becomes important. So because this is detailing the various places in the map. This is what this is. So this is your description for the map. This is definitely one that I will have printed out. So I want to make this very, very nice because I'm definitely printing this out to have a hard copy to look at my map. So when because I'm also going to print the map out for them. I don't know. I doubt I'll do it in color because I'm cheap. So locations in the city. So I'll rename this one just locations in the, might as well make it full. Locations in the city. Sure, why not? Control V. Oh, what happened? Is it still thinking? That didn't work. Something didn't happen. Oh. Well, there we go. So we're gonna go over to because I got that map I want to put in here, and I'm probably gonna stretch it out a little bit so I can see it a little better in this one. Needed size 18, and we're going to merge across, and then we're going to wrap the text, and then go through and fix everything. Control U changes to 18, and center, and descriptor. Is there anything troubleshooting? Yeah, see, it comes down here. This is one I'm just going to make 11 because it's not that hugely important. However, old city, I want a space above that, and then for the old city, and we're going to make this one 12, because that's going to be, actually, you know what, we're going to make that one 14, and I don't know if I want to center that again. I feel like I do. Like, I want it to be set out, because then you got these places that are in the old city, and these I'm going to make like the Beggar's Palace. That up to 12. That's why Old City went up to 14, is because these are all going to be up to 12. Size 12. Change my volume thingy. Holy cow. I am sorry, I just realized something. I am gonna have to change my volume thingy. Holy cow. I am sorry, I just realized something. Oh, okay. So yeah, see, I had my push to mute as control. So now that my volume's on, I know it's on, I just heard it. You probably heard the feedback. Oh, I hope I didn't mess you guys up too much with that. Alright, so refuse pit, merchant's ward. So this is the equivalent of the old city. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this and I'm going to to center that horizontally. I'm going to put a spot above that, insert one above. Control B, Control U, putting that size 14, and then centering it. Control B, Control I, make that 12. Control B, Control I, size 12. Man, I'm really mad at myself for having done that. I didn't even think about that. I use Control all the time. I don't know why I said that. You know what it is? When I play like MMOs, I don't use Control a lot for other stuff, so that's like my push to talk in like World of Warcraft when I used to play that. I probably should make it like a key combo. Control Shift tilde or something crazy like that. Alright, still going through here. I don't think I've come to another spot yet. There, Harbor Ward's the next one. And I have to insert one above it. I'm pretty sure that's right. Right? I didn't miss one. Yeah, that looks right. Urgent Ward, yep. Is that the right size? Grand Souk, no, that did not get. Temple of Severus, Temple of God, Temple of Sun, Jewel Market, Harbor Ward. Control B, Control U. 14 and centered. There's probably a button combo for me to do that. I don't know what it is though. To change my font. I've never really bothered looking that up. Hopefully this wasn't too boring of a video for you guys. A lot of just, for me, it's stuff that I'm going through in Excel. If you skipped ahead, it does have some Tomb of Annihilation hints and stuff in it for running Tomb of Annihilation. Probably got some other stuff for conversion stuff if you're thinking about doing your own conversions. I don't know if it's going to be easier. I mean, this seems pretty easy, so I was planning on doing this again next week. What I might do instead is go through my starting pack. I'll have to scan in all my pictures and stuff that I need to get in, and then go through that and actually start doing inputting stuff into Roll20 instead of taking stuff out. We'll do a input into Roll20 for the starting packs, because I kind of want to have the starting pack available, but like I said, I'm cheap, so purchasing another starting pack seems redundant to me when I own it, so I can utilize it in whichever medium I want, I believe is the way that works. I'm just not allowed to like publish it. Like, I can't hand these, like, I'm going to make these for hard copy, not so I can hand it out to my friends so they have access to running the module themselves, but so that I can run the module at a table instead of having to be on Roll20. Because utilizing myself, legal, giving it to other people, not so much. Alright, and this is Mallar's Throat. This is a new area, so we're inserting one above. That's why it's also in size 14 instead of 12. Oh, but it's not italics, it's underlined. And then it's set to the middle. Yay. Tariki Anchorage. I think that's a new spot, so yeah. So yep, one above it. And it has the dinosaur pins in it, apparently. So, when I was doing the sizes, I was doing the drop down. You just saw me do that, but I was also just selecting it. When you select the number, it was highlighting it for me. I could just type it in, which is a little faster than doing the drop down, or at least it seems that way for me. I'm not sure. Somebody could have timed it. I don't know. All right, so that is all of those areas that are on the map, which we need to go get now. So we're going to insert an image. See the numbered stuff on here. Holy cow. That was the other thing, is I hadn't. Oh yeah, see, the numbers are actually, whew. Oh man, that's gonna be frustrating. Yeah, the numbers are, oh man, that's terrible. Oh, that makes it a lot harder to utilize. Alright, so the numbers are on the GM info layer. If you're familiar with that, it means that the GM can take it and he can bring it to like the token layer. So now all the players can see it. It's basically an object. And send it back to the GM layer so it disappears. So only the GM can see it, and it's not actually on the map, so the players can't see it. Oh, that's a new button. Whoa. Oh, wow. Oh. Which, I guess that's okay. It just means that once I print that map out to have as a resource, I'll have to actually come back and open up Roll20 and then go through and label everything with the numbers. I could probably even label like the old city and stuff. Or, well, as the players discover, which is why I think why it's not labeled on the regular map, is they don't know, right? Like, this is their first time to Chult. So as they discover the areas on their own, they can label the map themselves. So that'll work, I suppose. So if you're unfamiliar with the map of Chult, it is amazing. This map is beautiful. And it's one of the reasons why I said we were doing the adventure at the beginning out of Port Nyanzara the way it is you see these hexes? These are basically you travel 1 hex a day out of Port Nyanzara, and as long as you know where you're going along the coastline, it's easy to travel, right? Like, you can navigate that. And the weird thing is, like, the river is really, really wide. So if your vision's only like 60 feet or whatever because of the rain, it's really easy to get turned around and go back the other way, which happened to my guys a lot. That didn't seem to take very long. Is there even anything on the GM layer on this map? I think those are all tokens, which that is a terrible, if that's... You see, those are all supposed to be hidden, I think? Am I in the wrong? What page? Oh, that's the GM's map at Chult. That's why. Everything is open and available to see, and it's just all there. Yeah, here we go. So if you run this on Roll20, make sure you open up the map early, like before your players get on, because if you're running a bunch of stuff like I am right now, it's gonna take a little while, which is what's happening right now. But yeah, this is the one where, so the players can't see any of this other stuff right here, like it's blocking even to see what this stuff is. Basically, the player's map, somebody's been able to travel around the peninsula and map the coastline, so they can see the coastline, they can navigate via the coastline. They can navigate, the way we did it is you can navigate areas that you've traveled through already without having to make your checks, because you got maps and points and reference and blah blah blah. And then I let them know at the end of every day, alright, you traveled backwards, you're not where you thought you were. Even if they failed. Like, I didn't let them go 2 days in a row in the wrong direction. They recognize stuff from the previous day, is the way I looked at it. So, but even this, I would have... Oh, that's right, because they got their map from the people at Camp Righteous. So Camp Vengeance probably shouldn't even be visible for the most part. If you're, depending on, because most of the people aren't aware that Camp Righteous has been abandoned and they're now at Camp Vengeance. Like, that's news that's going out as your players are coming in, or should be. If they have connections with Camp Righteous, it's better to have them at Camp Righteous instead of Vengeance. It just seems more story oriented towards that. And see, now you can see like all the stuff that's hidden. Yeah, and that's all on the GM layer. Yeah, so all these gray ones. So there's only a few things that are visible to the players. But these are tokens, so you can move them away. You can push them to the background. You can just delete them, so that you can see underneath. And if you delete one and then you need to put one back, you can like copy, cut, paste, try it, like copy it, and then it'll print it up here in the corner or something. You gotta go fetch it and bring it back when you paste it. But it's fine. Or you could drag one, like if they uncover some other area, you could drag one from like over here and move it to there if you needed to. But beautiful map. One of these days I'm probably going to try to figure out how to, like, I guess I could take all of these, like, on the map. See, the map doesn't seem to be hooked up to the, oh, the map does have grids on it. Okay, so the map already has the grids on the map, and then you line up the hexes to the thing. That's okay, I suppose. Alright, so what I eventually want to do is, I guess I could copy those pieces on the, just copy those and just put them on my other map. So if you're going to utilize a map, now that you got this map in roll 20, just make sure your map has the distinct place where you can line up your hexes at, and it works better if it's, yeah, see how the hexes are all denoted over here? That's actually physically on the map. That skull and the GM layer, all the skulls are on the GM layer. So once you find out that that means beware. It's basically the only thing the players can, what the players see is on the token layer, and then you put their token on here and you can move it around as they travel. Alright, so back to what we were doing. We were, let's go to a different thingy. Let's just go back to the landing page. So just go back to the landing page so we can look at the cool thingy in the background. I like that. The landing page is typically where I think all the DMs store player tokens and stuff, so you can go fetch it and stuff like that. There's a Serac. This is the gargoyle statue that once you get to the tomb, you'll see a ton of those. So we got locations in the city done. City denizens. Yeah, follow the merchant princes. I'm gonna need what is that, like three blocks for this side and 1 block for this side, so that's 4 blocks. We can get to there, and then this is going to be about 3 blocks and another block, so 4 blocks. I don't think that's gonna, we can try it. Let's see what happens. So city denizens, copying that, coming over and making a new sheet. Sheet 4. That doesn't look right, does it? Yeah, that's not right at all. Look at what it do. There we go. I don't know what happened. That was odd. Alright, so we're gonna undo all that, ununderline everything, change everything to 10, and then go, let's see what happened with these. Yeah, see, there's an error importing those. Formula parse error. That's fine, we can do that separately. Alright, so city denizens, that's the name of our sheet. City denizens, and that's going to be 18. It's going to be bold, it's going to be underlined, and it's going to be, oop, I did not merge. We got to do the don't think there were any pictures associated with this, so we're just gonna go keep it at J. That's what I've been doing. Oh, there's my merge button. Yeah, don't you give me a heads up? I've been doing it forever. Alright, so now we're also going to wrap our text. Alright, so Volothamp Gedarm. It's going to be Control B, Control I. Ooh, I forgot to center the city denizens. There we go. I don't think I want Control I. I think I want Control U. Underlined. Merchant Princes. Insert one above. Control B. Control U. Did not change Volo to. Let's do. Is 14 too big? You think? Let's do 12. Same thing with Merchant Princes. Merchant Princes, I think we're going to make that 14. And here's why. The Merchant Princes are these guys, and I'm going to have them be Control U at 12. Bold and underlined at 12, like Volo. And then I think these guys are going to make Control I, and I'm going to keep them underlined as well. Alright, so these have errors, so we're going to delete them. So now there's nothing there. Let's go back and see what's supposed to be there. Oh, see the +1 ammunition. That's why it's got the error, I betcha. Let's undo that. And is there only 3? Yeah, 3. Okay. If we make these text only number, so we're gonna make it plain text. See if that fixes it. Nope, that did not fix it. Number. It's not a number. Can I tell it to? I think that's right. Formatting. Custom number. I don't want that. I think I'm just going to have to manually enter those ones because I know what's going to happen. There should be 4. Item Akin Afa. So if I just highlight just that, then I go over here and we're going to delete these all together. Yeah, see, I even put the item part there. Oh, that's not that bad. What happened? Why does it say just temp? Oh. Whoops. Alright, so those ones I'm going to merge across. And then I'm going right, center them. Top one I actually want is centered. Well, I guess right justify, not center. And then we're going to merge those two. And I like that just like that. I think I actually want that all the way to the right as well, the item. What do you think? Let's make it bigger. We don't need it to be 12. Let's make it 11. Why is this underline? It's just, is that a link to it or something? So it's equals +1. So that's what it did. Is it put in? Let's see what happens if we just go to +1. Oh, I think it's because it's got that little thingy there. It's able to keep it. Huh. So yeah, if you have the cache, +1 wooden shield. Oh my lord! Start off with +1 to your AC. Yeah. I mean, like I said, you're probably not gonna get back to. All right, so Control B, Control I, and then we're going to 12. Did I think I underlined? Yeah. Alright, and I underlined. This is 12, bold and underline. This is the one that deals in beasts. It tells you what beasts he has for sale. Beast for sale table. I don't think that came in. Yeah, beast for sale, and then it dropped off the price. Like the prices didn't make it. Alright, so. Oh. Let's go ahead and. Unmerge these ones. Alright, so now let's see if that's merging enough. Oh, that's not what I want. So merge those horizontally so they fit. Yep. That one we're going to center. And now so I just memorize these, I guess. 100, 250, 500. 100, 250, 500. Center that. And then we're going to take this. That across. Then we're going to center it. Let's put some little. Yeah, there we go. Just mean. Are they italic? And nope, they were just bold. But they're on 12. So this one needs to be unitalic. Plants and poisons. They don't have a price table. Nope. This is actually good news. Deals in guides and sellswords. And he does not have a price list. Oop, that's not what we want. And then Kiyoyatha does not have a price list. And at 12. And he's in wine ale. Deals in magic item lore. That's Wakanda. Does Wakanda have a price list? Magic items for sale. Yep, he sure does. And of course, it's all missing. Alright. Let's see if we can fix that. Delete that. Control V. Yep. Alright, so I think what it does is it brings in its own formatting, which is why it didn't get messed up. Let's slide that over to like there. I probably didn't need to slide it that far, but what we're going to do is we're going to... Oops. We're going to merge all those horizontally. And then we're going to left, right justify. We're going to center that. Oops. We're going to merge horizontally. We're going to left justify all of that, except for that part. It's going to get centered. So D, am I using D? I don't think I am, which is exactly what I wanted, because then I can take and I can slide D over a little bit. Now as we come down, yeah, there we go. And to make up for that, I'm going to have J be just a little bit longer. So everything else is going to end up being the same, but then I got this little space right between all of these. See how I did that? Yeah, I didn't mess myself up. I'm surprised I didn't forget to put them all on D like that. Alright, Wizard's Journal. What was it on there? Yeah, this is amazing. I totally want a Wizard's Journal. Vorn, ooh. It says he accurately tells you where Vorn's at, basically. "15 randomly determined spells. Roll a d6 to determine the level of each spell." Ooh, so you can get up to level 6 spells. Holy cow. 15d6. Look at that. Wow. So on 15d6, that's 2 6th level spells, 2 5th level spells, 2 3 4 4th level spells, 1 2 3rd level spells, 1 2nd level spell, and then 4. Yeah, that'd be pretty amazing. That saves you a lot of money, I suppose, having to buy them. Alright, so now we're on to the last guy. Control B, Control U, and set to 12. He didn't have a thingy. saved. Nothing else in here that will help us. For city's denizens. Merchant Prince's Villa. Ooh. So, here's the thing with this Merchant Prince's Villa. I actually am going to include it in 2 spots. I'm going to save the image as. I need to change that. So, we need a new folder. And this is under Port Nyanzaru. This is merchant. Whoops, totally did not want to do that. What happened? Let's try again. Save image as. No, okay, I'll just go back and rename it. So it's basically all the merchant princes have generic villa. Once you've been in one, you've been in all. Alright. But it also has labels. So it's going to get its own tab. Merchant Prince's Villa. Alright, so I'm down to like 20 minutes left in this, guys, so if anybody else... No one's showed up yet to watch my first stream. It's kind of a shame. Boo-hoo. Even my wife went to bed and didn't support my... She's probably going to watch this later on YouTube and be like, I had to work the next day. Yeah, me too. But I don't have to go to work till like 5 at night, so it's all good. Paste this in here. Alright, so we're going to change it to 10. Not all bold. Not all underlined. I think that's got it. And then we're going to take it to J. We're going to merge horizontally. We're going to wrap the text. Through. Says you can customize assigning the following decorative motifs to each merchant prince. So these we want to change. Alright, so we got Control I. Change it to, let's go to 12. So, Control B, Control U, we're going to set this to 14, and then we're going to center it. Alright, and then we got Control B, Control I, I'm going to set this to 12, set one above, feeling this might be boring for many of you. I'm actually getting a little bored. But it's something that's got to get done. Some of you might want helps or tips, so maybe this might be a video you can go back and check on later if you're trying to do something similar, and this might give you ideas. And if they're pretty cool, send them to me on my Twitter, murder_hobos_INC. I would be interested if you have a better way of doing this, or an alternative way even. Yeah, right here I just want white space between each of these. Probably don't need to go through and change everything like this, but I kind of like it to pops out, and I like it to be uniform even between all my, as uniform as possible between all my different pages. That way I know exactly what it is that I'm looking at. That's why I do all the box text, italic, and font 12. It just helps it pop, I think. Makes it so, and it's consistent, so I know when I see that, I know what I'm looking at. Oh man, here we go. Now I could also saves time or not. Highlight a couple of them at a time. Treasure. I don't know if you remember what we said we did last time for our treasure, but it was definitely italicized, and it was size 11. Let's make it a little bit bigger. I hope I didn't miss any other treasure up there, but whatever. So if you don't know how I did that, selecting them, I selected one and then I hit control, held down control and selected the other two. That's how you do that. So I did the lower level. Did I miss the upper level? Am I still missing it? Upper level, there it is. Control B, Control U, and this is size 14, and it's definitely going to be centered. Is that what I put the upper level, lower level at? Yep, lower level is 14. See, that's why you're consistent. It makes it easy. All right, so all that's saved, and that is all of that. So you look at how far we got. We're almost done with this chapter. So our merge and purchase of the factions and the representatives. I think this is probably one of the bigger ones too, like 'cause it's got all the stuff for starting. So this might be like the biggest one. So yeah, it's taken me almost 2 hours now to get this done. I don't think it took but about 2 hours to figure out how I wanted to do all this stuff and to do chapter. I mean, look at I did all of chapter 3 and all of chapter 4, I think, in like 2 hours. That was figuring out how I wanted to do all this stuff too. It might have been a little bit longer, but 2 hours feels about right. And this one's almost as big as both of those put together. There's just a lot more going on. So we're not gonna put factions as representatives. We're just gonna rename this factions. text. And then we're going to fix everything. So this is my title. So it goes to 18 and it goes to centered. And here's our first faction. And it needs a space above. Control B, Control U, it's going to get set to 14. And it also is going to be centered. Enclave and Jolt, blah blah blah. Flaming Fist is the next one. I guess it helps to know what the factions in Forgotten Realms are, huh? And then it's... yeah. I probably could have done those as 12 off to the side, but I like doing it this way. I don't know. Weird that way, I guess. I don't need to do that. We can do that. And that wasn't right. There we go. Lord's Alliance. So we're going to do Lord's Alliance. Order the Gauntlet. Red Wizards. Yatekapa. Zentarum. I think that's all of them. Yeah, so now we're going to go 14. Control B. Control U. And centered. And now I gotta go through. Is there one above? Yeah, it was a little faster doing it that way. I know, maybe I should have been doing that all night and then this wouldn't have taken so long. Blah blah blah. Well, I don't think anybody showed up at all tonight to even say hi. And everybody at work that I tried to get to come visit me. Yeah, nobody responded. Nobody said anything between me saying hi to myself twice. That's okay. Alright, so that is all of those. There's no pictures or anything with this, was there? Trial and error. No pictures. No faction pictures. Alright, so we're up to laws and punishments. Let's see, now you get to like things to do. Oh. And then the player handouts. Oh. Player's map of Cholt. That's probably a good one to stick in our starting stuff. Most of those pictures I'll probably put in starting. Laws and punishments. Oh, this isn't very big. Legal permission to kill or have someone completely purchased from the merchant person. Individual is either predator or prey, and the predator might be a mob of undead. I think the punishment is pretty much you get to run the executioner's run. That's like it. Like, I don't even know if I should include this. Like, that just seems, I don't even know if they'll ever actually use it. So law and punishment. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do on this one. This is how much I don't even care about this one. We're gonna set this one to merge horizontally. We're gonna wrap some text. We're gonna tell it not all to be underlined. And then I'm done. So next one. Laws and punishment. Things to do. Buying special items, dinosaur racing, finding a guide, gathering information. each of them has their own special thing. Ugh. So here's where you gotta make the choice. Do I have another folder for things to do, or do I just leave the things to do like in, like, is that Port Nyanzaro's at the starting? I think it's Port Nyanzaro. Like, these are things to do in Port Nyanzaro. Like, you find the guide in Port Nyanzaro, you buy the items in Port Nyanzaro. So I think we're gonna leave this in Port Nyanzaro. So this is buying a special item. Nope, sheet 8. Buying a capitalized special item. Control V, and then we're gonna change all this stuff. All right. So this is our titles. This is font 18 or size 18, and then it's going to get centered. These are special items. I like those 12. This rain catcher. Very good if you don't have a cleric that wants to be making water or purifying your water otherwise, because you don't want throat leeches. And yeah, throat leeches. Yeah, that's a thing. Throat leeches. I want to drink water and get all messed up, get diseases. I mean, I guess you could have your paladin purifying you for disease. That's still just a waste of resources, though. So yeah, how much does it cost? Range card, 1 gold piece and weighs 5 pounds. Forms a basin that can catch 2 gallons of drinking water per inch of rainfall and hold up to 8 gallons. So you're basically carting around an 8-gallon barrel that has a big giant tarp on it. Yeah, for 1 gold. Buy 2 of them. Buy 3. Whatever. Have your warriors carry it. 15 pounds. Yeah, get it. I think in the jungle, so most people don't realize you're supposed to go through like 2 gallons of water a day or a gallon of water a day or something like that adventuring, which is like your water skin's only half a gallon, so it's 2 water skins. You have to go through 2 water skins. Most people only carry 1. And then how are you filling it? What are you doing with it? Like, these are the things that my group ran into problems. So everybody ended up having to carry another water skin. And then they had one of these that they basically kept in the canoe connect to get their water, and then they were using, if they had the spell slots, they would use the spell slots to fill it up basically if it wasn't raining, and then they basically drink out of it. So when you're traveling or in the heat of Chult, you go through twice as much water. So that's 4 water skins that you have to go through a day. So you have to have you either have to be able to have some means of filling it or storing your water, or you have to carry that many around and then fill them. So yeah, that's the minutia of adventuring in Chult. Roll20 makes it easy to track that. It all depends on whether you and your players actually want to do that, though. My players, not so much. So the next time if we jump back in this, if we jump back in it with the same characters, we're gonna jump back in basically on the, I'm gonna just probably give them a level, and we're gonna skip ahead, and we're gonna have found, or I'll just put them at level 5 if they're not at level 5, and then we'll just start as they stumble across to Omu, and go from there and see where it takes us. Alright. So that is buying a special item. Dinosaur racing, if that's your thing. Like, what? Betting and dinosaur races. Like, ugh, do I want to copy this crap? Like, it's... See, I've watched, like, people in... Nobody... None of the adventures I've seen do this have bothered betting on the dinosaur races. Like, this is... Seems like there's like a better thing they could be doing with this curse that's like killing people or running rampant, and they have to go through the. Very young Tyrannosauruses. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with this one. Finding a guide. Again, along with like the other side quest thingies, for the guides, I made little handouts for all these guys. Because some of these actually have, some of the guides have adventure hooks, so they have basically things they want done, and they'll guide you for free-ish. But I mean, yeah, a guide is a guide is a guide, right? Like they're still trying to hire adventurers to do stuff. That they're trying to get adventurers to hire them to do stuff. So that's still posts in the same areas, right? So that was what? Finding a guide. I need another one of these babies. Where did it go? Like I see it. There we go. Rename. Finding a guide. Did I put a thingy there? That's weird. No, that's just it. Okay, I thought there was like some mark at the end, but that's just the way it's doing it. Alright, so finding a guide. Don't need it bold. Don't need it underlined. Don't want it that size. And now we're going to merge some cells. You guys got the hang of this now, right? Like, apparently I don't. Alright, so did some text wrapping. Now fix this baby up. That's my intro, or my title, so it's getting centered over there to size 18. And this is going to need a space. And then we're going to size 14 it. Oops, sorry, I had that done. Alright. Now we get into, you know, I think I'm going to center that. And I think instead of italics, we're going to be underlined. And here's why. Control B, Control U. Size 14. Centered. And then we get to Zaka. So she's going to be bold. She's going to be size 12. And italicized. And she's staying right there. Alright, so now I know what I need to do. So we got Aku, Farul, and Gandolo. And then we got Hugh Hackenstone. And then we got Masharib. And then we got River Mist and Flask of Wine. And then we got Salida. Alright, so that's all. Control B, Control I, size 12. Yeah, so those are all done. Control U. Size 14 and centered. Alright, the first one's Control B, Control I. You know what? I probably should have done this guy too. Shago. Shago is listed as Fort Balurian, but he could ostensibly also be hired in. I mean, any of these, even these guys could be ostensibly hired in Port Nyanzaro, but I mean, it's really whatever you want to do. Like, Shago's mom lives in, she's one of the merchant princes, so. Yeah, right here. I think Shago's like the go-to guide, because I'm pretty sure, like when I ran him, he has a copy of the charter, like a expedition charter. Like that's like his thing. He might, or I encouraged them to like he required them to purchase one. And in order to do it, like he claims that that's basically the law, and it's basically the Flaming Fist thing. And if they don't have one, you run across the Flaming Fist, they're going to extort you for one, or it's a fight. So he's a good one to have along. All right, so that's that. Those guys are all done. That's finding a guide, gathering info. One more. Oh, we got our handouts. Oh man, this is terrible. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this in two parts. So gathering information. Gathering information. And then first part. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Instead of doing all of the thingies across, we're just going to do these ones. Then we're going to merge those horizontally. Yeah, like that. Oh, not like that. And then we're going to leave that. I'm not even going to mess with it. So now we go to our Schultz rumors. Oh, I need the D. Controls. Oh, whoops. That's not terrible. I can work with that. Alright, so Control X. I'm going to move it down here for a moment. Wow, yeah, look how long that is. So we're going to see how many spots we get. I want a middle spot blank, and then I need one spot here. So I need 2 spots for that. So let's go backwards from, let's go backwards from 2, so 2. And then I've got 3 here, so if I go 1, 2, 3, yeah, I just end up with an extra blank spot. So I guess I can, let's do 4. I'm going to convert these all over to 4 spots. Because then I'm going to shorten up some columns, I think. Alright, so let's merge these across. And then let's go ahead and text wrap. Alright, so now make that about that big. We're gonna make that one about that big. Cut this back up. still do it. Select brush type. There we go. It fixed itself. And then we're going to make this one about that big. And that's about right. Like, right? I guess I could make these a little bit bigger now. So I basically want two things down here at the end, so I could, let's make one a little bit bigger. Like that down to there. Yeah, that look pretty good. Alright, and then that and that are both, let's make those centered. Actually, you know what? I want to add that and that. And I also want those centered. And I also want them all to have underlines. And I want them all to be size 12. Actually, let's make it size 11. Yeah, there we go. Now, so if we put it at letter size, current sheet, it actually fits everything on there. Yep, see? That's pretty nice. That's why I basically I'm not using these last two columns. It's because it fits nicely on a sheet of paper that way. Alright, so that is that. And it is time for me to end my stream tonight. Well, thanks for coming out, if you came out to check me out at all. Or if you're watching this later on YouTube or in my channel or whatever. Thanks for checking it out, and I hope you liked it. Hopefully next week we're going to be doing the opposite of this. Instead of taking info off Roll20, I'm going to be building stuff in Roll20 for the starter set. So if you have the starter set and you want to like see some stuff or whatever, come check it out. If you don't have the starter set and you just want to see some cool stuff that I'll be putting into that have to do with the Lost Mines of Phandelver, if you've watched other streams and stuff and you're like, hey, yeah, come check it out. Remember, you have to purchase it in order to share it, to have it, so I can't just send you copies and share everything with you, so it's not the way it works. Well, you guys have fun, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the future. Thanks.